Good evening and welcome to the Speedway Tavern 2026. It's that time of year again when we can peruse each team's team building efforts and perhaps come to some tentative conclusions about playoff places and who's going to do well and who not so much. Well, not this year. In fact, we can't even come to any conclusions about which teams are actually running in less than a month. Only in Speedway. Oh, good evening, gentlemen. It's a slightly quieter start than normal.
Yeah, just a bit, yeah.
Just a tad, yes.
We arrived today to find out that we had computer problems.
Yeah, there's a few teething problems, but I've got a whole new system which should be up and running in a couple of weeks. So
Yeah, so we're just trying to push through this and...
Well, the challenge is, can you get it ready before the BSBA get the Speedway ready?
Yeah. I've got the sellotape out for tonight.
I think we're going to land on the moon. We're going to land on Mars before the BSBA get this. Whoops.
BSBL, sorry, I should say.
Yes, the BSP. All.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about, folks, we're not going to talk about team building particularly because it's not finished.
No.
I think our chief topic of...
Teams. What teams?
Teams, exactly. Our chief topic is going to be about who the hell is going to be running in the Premier League, so-called. Horrible situation.
Well, there's a lot of things that seem that it's frustrating as well that they seem to be still going along this thing of just drip feeding little bits. Yes, there's obviously discussions that have got to be had. There's got to be contracts of signed and things like that. But again, it's almost sort of like you're left in the dark again, isn't it? So,
well,
and I do say this. I've said this before. I think in a lot of cases, Speedway does take its supporters for granted occasionally.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I mean, just look at the situation. We've got Ipswich now. They went up for sale a long time ago, and they
21st of November. I just checked.
Yeah. So everybody's known when the season's going to start.
Yeah.
Why is it still? What's going on? And why don't we know what's going on?
Well, first of all, I would say it's a huge blow. I think that Chris Louis has decided to step down at Ipswich because I think over the last couple of years, they have been probably the best run club, certainly in the top league.
Yeah.
Had tremendous crowds, very, very consistent team building. Of course, over a 3-4 year period, they've pretty much had the same pool of riders. And that's really, for me, I say we should be. But obviously, Chris Louis decided in discussions with people on the committee that he didn't like the things that were happening potentially and has decided to...
We can understand that, I think.
Decided to step away. And that's as I say, he's to me, he's been one of the best promoters of the last few seasons because I think Ipswich have been run very well, and I think it leaves them in a little bit of limbo now because they are going to have a team defending the title that is going to be nowhere near the team that they had last season.
Well, they've lost Doyle and they've lost Saito.
That's a big lot of points that they've lost. I mean, Emil didn't have the greatest of seasons last year in comparison to previous 2 seasons that he had with
finished
the Witches,
well, though.
But finished very, very well. Jason Doyle's, Mr. Consistency at league level. So there's a lot of points that have been lost from straight away. Tom Brennan, we assume, has been given assurances because he's not popped up anywhere else yet. So we assume he's been given definite assurances that Ipswich are going to be running in 2026.
Unless he's signed for this mystery club, that's the other thing.
You don't know who it is yet. I mean,
we should know. Should we not have some idea of who it is? But given the state of where we are in the season now, how far away? Could you imagine a football club being in this situation? We'd know who it was, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all secrecy at the moment, isn't it? So we've only got just over 4 weeks before the season starts, and we don't even know who's flipping running yet.
No. It's just beggars belief to me. So, we should know that.
Yeah.
We should, they must, I mean, they've got to have riders signed.
Yep.
So they should know that. I mean, we make a guess about some of them, Tom Brennan being one of them.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes, this is doubly good as a doctor's surgery tonight. Doctor's waiting room, we should say. So, yeah. But as I say, I mean, we've known since May last year that Birmingham weren't going to be running. It's been known quite a long time that Oxford probably weren't going to be running in the top league as well. So, you've had nearly 6-7 months now of knowing that there's going to be best teams in the league.
Yep.
And yet here we are a month before the season starts, and we're still none the wiser as to what is going to happen. And of course, there's not going to be any TV coverage as well.
Yeah, we've not touched on that yet.
Of course, we've got BSN who've been, BSN do a brilliant job. I have to say, I really enjoyed their coverage from the Australian scene that I watched you last month. I thought there was some.
I didn't
really
actually
good
get
things.
to see it, but
There was a lot of good things that came out of that. I thought some good quality racing, and quite impressed with some of the tracks over there. But they haven't got the pull of a mainstream broadcaster. Only Speedway fans really will know about BSN. It's not like with TNT or Sky. Although I don't think TNT's coverage was a patch on what BSN did on probably a fifth of the budget that BSN had.
Yeah, absolutely not. And their knowledge wasn't as good as you are a lifesaver.
So he's doubling up as a butler this year, I think. So,
We're calling him Parker for this show.
So, we don't know. Nobody knows where we're going yet. As I say, this close to the season to be in a situation like this is just, we've had so many occasions over the years where Speedway's shot itself in the foot, but it sort of shot itself in the foot, the arms, the leg, the back, the nose.
It's got no limbs left.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Monty Python.
Yeah.
It really is like that. So I wonder what Ipswich fans, he was talking about earlier about that. We take fans for granted.
Yeah.
How must the Ipswich fans feel in all of this?
Well, they must, it's
The best supported club in the league, probably.
definitely the best supported club in the top league, I would say. As I say, the best run club, I think, over the last 2 or 3 seasons in the top league. And had a wonderful season last year, sort of steadily built up momentum over the previous 2 or 3 seasons. And, it's similar to, there's comparisons really with that winter of discontent that we had in 2010, 2011 when Coventry won the league. And then we got to April and we still didn't know whether they were going to be running or Peterborough.
No. And then they brought Birmingham up to the top flight too.
And Kings Lynn came up as well, didn't they, the same season. So, yeah, and I mean, I've spoken to Coventry fans since who've said that in some ways now they think that the worst thing they ever did was winning the league in 2010 because it sort of started all the problems. I just wonder whether that contributes to it as well. Ipswich, as I say, there's a lot of positive things about Ipswich over the last few years. Whether other people have been jealous of that and sort of close ranks.
Well, that would be stupid.
But it would also be very, very British Speedway, wouldn't it?
Well, yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
We should just say, first of all, pass our condolences on to the family of Terry Russell. Of course, we sadly lost him last week. Came as a bit of a shock, obviously. A promoter that was involved in Speedway for so many years, and of course was pivotal to the Sky deal that came through in the late 1990s.
I mean, not a lot else to add to that.
Yeah.
Pete Clark says no TV means that everyone will be flooding back into stadiums? Question mark. No TV means people ain't going to know it's there. That's what no TV means. Simon Corbett says should have been one league, farcical only in the UK.
I don't think they were ever going to go one league.
They weren't interested, was they?
No. Well, as many people will say, the problem with having the one big league is, of course, is that you have to double down. Last time we had the one big league, it was on the top league teams' terms, and then you had so many lopsided teams that a lot of the second-tier clubs that came up into that one big league lost a lot of money that season, over those 2 seasons that it ran. So that's,
It's short-sighted, though, because eventually they will have to make one league, and the longer they leave it, the dumber down it's going to become. So in fact, I was listening to reading in the Speedway Star an interview with, I can't remember the guy's name now, but somebody important in Polish Speedway, and he reckons that British Speedway have got it wrong. Well, that's a surprise. As far as the doubling up situation is concerned, and the fact that there isn't enough riders. And he said that it's not that there isn't enough riders, it's that there isn't enough team spaces. If you have enough team spaces, you will get enough riders because you have to fill the spaces. And then those riders will then go on to become good riders, or a lot of them will, and so that they will start a bit wobbly. But he said so that his feeling was that we've got it wrong, that you shouldn't be worrying about there's not enough riders. Should be worrying, and I agree actually that there's not enough spaces.
Yeah.
And it's make the spaces and they will come. I guess
it's about making those spaces, isn't it? So
yeah. Talking of making spaces.
Yep.
Who's the sixth team supposed to be? We're supposed to be getting the sixth team. They still seem to be saying that that's a good way down the road to happening in 4 weeks' time.
Well, 4 weeks' time, you've got to get a team, you've got to build a track, you've got to get sponsors and everything, haven't you? Unless these things have already been discussed and they haven't let them told anybody else yet. General consensus I've heard is that it's Northampton, but we don't know anything official. I've heard whispers even of Peterborough. So we've been where that would happen, I don't know.
No, I have heard that that there's a chance of them going back to the East of England showground. That there's been things.
Well, obviously the site's still there. It's been stripped up completely out now. I mean, the grandstand's still there. The shell's obviously not there anymore. But that seems to have stalled, really, isn't it? With the development of the showground, it would be great to see Speedway back there again because it was a brilliant racetrack.
It really was, but it wouldn't be the same racetrack in there because they'd have to rebuild it.
It would have to be rebuilt, but hopefully they'd be able, if they could, they would be able to rebuild it the same as the
same shape sort of job. Yeah, but that's not going to happen in 4 weeks. So I don't think that's. So Simon Corbett says Northampton. Have they started build? I mean, have they got a track?
Unless it's one that they've built somewhere and nobody knows about.
Nobody knows about it. It's undercover.
Yeah.
And
you take it, you're going to somewhere where there's not been Speedway for a good many years.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be any. Yeah.
And why are they not telling us? Why are we not being told that this track that they're looking at is Northampton, if that's what it is? That's the possibility. From a point of view of if it gets going, and you want fans, as you was describing there, and you want fans to go there, the more time you give them to know that there's going to be a track there, and you've got a team to support, the better, surely.
Well, you would have thought as well if they are going to build a track there, then it would have to go through sort of procedures, wouldn't it? Like with the noise thing and all that, noise tests and things like that. I don't know whereabouts it is. If it is in Northampton, we don't know what's around the local area, whether there's houses there or whether it's a long way from houses.
And the safety certificates and insurance certificates and all sorts of.
Yep, you can't run without those things.
No. Richie Big Boy Racing says the Shale Raceway at Northampton. And it's it's moving all over. Everybody's joining in now. Yeah. Northampton Raceway is owned by Speedway, according to Chris Thorogood.
Yep.
Chris Thorogood says it's a shale stock car track. So
Northampton seems to be the one where you were going to put money on it would be there. But as I say, they're just leaving it very, very late, aren't they, to tell people and sort of I mean, surely it's going to be one of those. If they do run, they're probably going to have to run quite a lot of matches away from home first while they get the place ready.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. And if you get to a stage of the season where you don't have a home meeting until May or June, and you've lost a lot of your matches, then
you probably want to lose matches because you're paying money out without getting any income in. That's the other flip side of that.
Unless it's been subsidised. I doubt it would be subsidised by other promoters. I'd be amazed if they agreed to that, even though we desperately need more teams in the league, because you cannot. 6 really isn't enough. 5 would be ludicrous.
Well, our season prediction then wouldn't be we wouldn't do a prediction about who's going to make the playoffs. We'd just say this team's not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's going to be done. I think it is going to be done differently, isn't it? I think it was it.
Yeah,
we'll get the statement out a bit later on, but I'm pretty sure. I know they've said it's going to be run slightly.
If it's 5 teams, they did mention that. Pete Clark says it's already there, meaning Northampton, and Linda Book says yes, there is a shale track at Northampton. So that's almost says it all, doesn't it? That it's going to be Northampton, surely.
Yeah,
but
it's just it's the worst kept secret in Speedway at the moment. I think that it's
yeah. There's been lots of bad badly kept secrets in Speedway.
Well, I suppose on the plus side, I mean, obviously you now join me on the Nomads scrap heap, so it's relatively easy to get to from this area, from this neck of the woods. So it's not too far to travel there and back.
That's
I suppose
true.
a lot of it depends on what night it's going to be run as well. It's either going to be a Monday or a Thursday. It's top league, so
If it's top league, it's got to be, isn't it?
Yep.
And that possibly needs to be looked at as well, because if we're not having all these top riders that are riding in Poland, so on over here, which is becoming less and less. I mean, obviously you got the Bellevue situation, which is different.
Yeah.
Brady Kurtz, and you got Dan Bewley. You can sort of at the moment think, well, they're going to win the league. Other than that, do you need to worry about it being Mondays and Thursdays?
Well, I mean, many people would say, looking at the Premiership, that it is effectively an extension of the Championship with just a few top names in it. At the moment, obviously, two with Bewley and Kurtz.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's a weird situation, and one that nobody could have predicted would happen, except, oh, hold on, everybody did. Crazy. I'd love to know if there's any Ipswich fans out there, what they think, what they're thinking, and are you going to go and support this team? And it's a bit of a come down, because they ain't going to win the league, aren't they? Who are they going to sign? Who's going to be their number? Who's going to replace? Who's out there that could replace Doyle and Saifutinov? Out there?
I'm going for Ipswich.
Okay.
we did mention before the show that we're going to each pick a team.
Yeah, we're going to pick a team to support each of us this year.
Yeah.
I already know who I'm going to pick.
Yeah, I know I'm going to pick as well.
Okay, who do you think?
Plymouth.
Okay, Chris, have you got any idea?
I'm going to go for Ipswich.
Okay, I'm going to go for Buxton. A lot of my mates are working there from Birmingham, so
it's not too far away.
I think the 5th of April, I think, is their first meeting, isn't it? I think it's an individual meeting they've got. I think it's around 5th of April, I believe. Mr. Rogers is on. He will, Original Chain 4s, that's on Sunday, the 5th of April, 3 p.m. start. So I've only been to Buxton once. Unfortunately, the meeting was abandoned before a wheel was turned. But I'm hoping to go up there at some point this year. It's a relatively simple journey up, and obviously lovely part of the country as well.
Very, very cold. Take your coat.
Yeah, but it's going to be
yeah. Whenever you go, if it's August, take your coat.
It doesn't. Well, it does need to be supported really as well, doesn't it? I mean, Buxton, when they ran before, I mean, they obviously, all the Bellevue fans used to go there. A lot of Stoke fans used to go there. So Birmingham. I think Buxton were delighted when Cradley, Coventry, and Birmingham were there, because obviously they took big crowds there. Because there's not really any home support at Buxton, because there's no one lives around there. It's really out in the open.
Fred Graham says, good to have you back, guys. Great to see the championship fixtures released today at last. Still worrying about the Premiership and plans for the future of the sport, especially with Poland's new rider rules in 2027. I'm wondering whether that could be a blessing in disguise in the end, because it might actually force the one league.
Yeah, I think at the moment, really, British Speedway is in this area where it's sort of almost like it needs to hit rock bottom just to rip it up and start again. Because the current model really just isn't working, and it's becoming less sustainable as years go by.
Speedway's big problem is not owning its own land and its own stadiums, and everything else is caused by that. That's why that's why Birmingham's not there. I mean, most of Speedway's problems are caused by the fact that I think that there's just not enough tracks there. Yeah. But the reason you lose the likes of Cradley, the likes of Birmingham, the likes of Stoke, the likes of Rye House, you keep going Coventry, is because we didn't own the stadiums. Yeah. Which is why the way Buxton's going at the moment is a good way of, tracks in fields and just getting it back down to and start again. Right, we've got lots of stuff coming up, so let's see.
Thomas Court said Kings Lynn.
Kings Lynn for me, okay.
That looks solid from what I've seen so far. So.
Yeah. Pete Clark says, welcome to Buxton.
It's not cold enough to be Buxton in here. But...
What I want to know, Pete, is have you got the accent yet?
It's a Buxton accent.
It's sort of
Derbyshire, isn't it?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
What's a Derbyshire accent? Come on, who can do the best Derbyshire accent?
Pete Clark. So Chris Thorogood said, as an Ipswich fan, the rumours are the Mayfield Sports are buying the club. Weirdly, it's staff signing on this evening, but I've no idea what the staff are signing on for when there is no new owner in place. Interesting.
Everything that tells you you need
Wow.
to know about British Speed in a nutshell, that isn't it? That's the first question I'll be asking. Who am I working for?
Who am I working for? And
Yeah. I mean, obviously, these people are going to be voluntary, aren't they? So it's not as if they're going to be,
out of a job.
yeah, or not being paid, are they?
Yeah.
So because it's obviously all, it's all stuff that's done voluntarily. So
Linda Buck says, surprised to learn that the only 1 8-point rider per team is only applicable to the championship. If it doesn't apply to the Premiership, then how can any new club possibly join the league given the strength of the existing teams? That's a very good question.
because they're desperate.
Yeah, well,
Simple as that. That's why.
yeah, I mean, Northampton have got to find riders from somewhere. If indeed it is Northampton,
Yeah.
and maybe the reason that we haven't got their name, maybe the reason they haven't out into the spotlight about it is because the negotiations going on are about rider strengths in teams and stuff. And wonder whether that's got something to do with it. I mean, they've come out with a points limit of 42, is it?
Yeah.
For the top 6 riders.
Yeah.
It's too high.
He's a bit.
I don't know, it's too high. I think it's, given the current climate and the availability of riders, that's going to mean, and will always mean, that the teams with the biggest money are going to get the best riders.
Yeah. That's why Bellevue have got Kurtz and
Exactly.
Bewley.
Like a lot of sports, all included.
Well, the football's got how many leagues? How many thousands of people going through the gate?
Yeah.
And
How many
TV deals.
TV deals? And
Yeah.
it's not the same.
No,
It's not the same. It's not a level playing field.
No.
Speedway can't do that.
Yeah. It's still only a few clubs making money.
Mm. Are any
If
clubs
any,
actually
if any,
making
yeah,
money?
exactly, yeah.
Well, but that's again, that's.
And I think if
that's-
it wasn't for TV and media,
no.
Nobody's. We've had all this stuff with Speedway Futures Limited, haven't we? Obviously, with the sort of thing with Harry Redknapp
Harry Redknapp.
joining there. What are they supposed to be doing?
has he
Hands
done
on a
any? Has
postcard.
he joined as a Harry Redknapp?
Well,
He's doing a one-man tour at the moment, I think,
Yeah.
which I don't think has anything to do with Speedway.
He did an article in the newspaper, didn't he, about it? I
Yeah.
think, was it the Mirror? It might have been the Mirror or the Sun.
No, they did the Cup draw and Lyndon Lusardi did it, didn't they? So,
Did they? I missed that. Is she still alive?
Older than
it
you.
was like picking people that were famous 30
Nobody's
years
older.
ago. So.
Yeah. No. Well, that's Speedway's demographic, isn't it? At the moment,
I mean, even in the statement they released at the end of the AGM, no mention of what are they supposed to be doing?
I've been corrected, by the way. The limit is 37, the Premier League, for the top 6. Is that right? It's low, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, hang on. A minute ago you said it's too high.
Yeah,
Now you said it's too
42.
low. You're never
Well,
happy,
it
are you?
surprised me if it is. How have I missed that? And 40 for the championship for the top 10.
Yeah.
Pete Clark says he's not sure what a Buxton accent is, but there is more sheep than people.
Hey up.
Okay. Hey up, that sheep looks lovely. Okay.
That's not a sheep, that man.
Okay. Wow.
Oh.
We've just upset everybody in Derbyshire now.
Yeah.
They
I apologise.
don't care. They haven't got internet up there yet. They haven't got electricity up there yet, have they?
I'm not sure they've got electricity up there. Anyway, don't be nasty about my new team.
Yeah.
We hate them already.
I've got to support Buxton. They've got our air
And most of the staff
and
as
most
well.
of the
so-
staff,
And they start with a B.
and they start with the B and the balls.
Yeah. Pardon?
Chris Thorogood says, read the AGM statement. It's in there. It was 40 last year. Okay. We was saying before we came on air that should have another look at the AGM statement. I think you're looking at it now, are you?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So British Speedway can confirm the Premiership will continue next season and it will feature a minimum lineup of 5 teams. Planning for 2026 has been subject to a unique set of circumstances, several of which have already been dealt with in the media, concerning the status of the current Ipswich team being placed up for sale, in addition to attempts being made to bring new teams in, which remain ongoing. This has resulted in a delay to the normal timescale of announcements over the winter, but we can confirm the league will definitely be going ahead and teams are planning accordingly. Meetings between promoters have resulted in a provisional agreement, so it's not even confirmed yet, for a points limit of 37 for the top 6 riders in each team, along with a rising star to be selected from an unchanged criteria, with teams having protection to be able to retain their existing rising star should they wish. It's important to note that these team buildings will still require ratification. Premiership CEO Phil Morris said, "One way or another, there will be a minimum of 5 teams next season. We fully appreciate the number isn't ideal and are still working on the potential of having more than 5 teams. For that current reason, we cannot confirm the exact structure at this time. There will be a full league competition along with players to decide the title plus the knockout cup. There's been a great deal of work going on in the background, not only to protect existing Premiership teams, but also potential new teams. We do anticipate that we will be in a position to provide more details prior to the festive period, and we appreciate the patience of riders, supporters and sponsors, and feel it is important to give some clarity that the Premiership will be going ahead." That was on the 12th of December.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had the one statement since, haven't we, where obviously Bill Morris is talking about they are, at an advanced stage. They keep telling us for another team. We don't know who is yet, but we do know, but we don't know.
We don't officially know.
No.
We've worked it out as the only possible choice, essentially. I mean, first thing is that I hope that they can manage to get Northampton into Speedway because it's needed. It's just, then are they doing it in such a way that's going to allow them to compete? Because if they can't come in and compete, they ain't going to last.
Bringing a team in just for the sake of it, and then just sort of throwing them to the sharks, right? Get
just
on with
like
it.
Birmingham were for the last 2-3 years, whatever it was.
Well, Nigel Tolley said this, isn't he? That the scenario he wanted was to sort of stay in the championship and sort of build an asset base, but I guess a lot of it was the fact that they lost the Wednesday nights, and it was basically run Monday or don't run at all.
Yeah,
and those last 2 seasons, although certainly in 2024 there was some very good racing at Birmingham, particularly once Freddie Lindgren came in. Last season was a complete disaster. You can't dress last season up as anything other than that.
No, there was
not that the 2-3 seasons before that were much better, admittedly, but
but it was worse than those.
Yeah.
Fred Graham says, any news of potential tracks reopening in the Midlands at existing venues or new venues? So Wolverhampton, I don't think there's been anything about that.
It's very, very quiet at the moment at Wolves. I think a lot of it is sort of based now on reality that it is going to take a long time. I think there have been sites that have been looked at, which currently have stadiums on, but I don't think they're suitable for what the Wolves promotion need. Obviously, there's been a lot of noise about Cradley. Of course, there was a statement that I think the local planning council there. It's not in Dudley Council. It's not in Dudley Council Borough. I know that, but that they're not going to support it. So that looks like it might be sort of now a little bit dead in the water. It's just because of the cost.
Birmingham, of course, the last we heard was Nigel Tully saying he wasn't going to give up the fight, but then nothing. The only one out of all of those that's got any sort of good news is Coventry.
Yeah, Coventry, obviously the local plan that will hopefully protect Brandon Stadium from developers has obviously now gone through for final approval. I think it's been provisionally approved, and of course they are now asking for more letters of support. So please get those letters in because we desperately need another club in this.
Where can people access that? There's a link somewhere.
Yeah, we'll find it and we'll put it on the thing. It is obviously the Safe Coventry Speedway website, but again, getting Speedway back into Coventry would be huge. Not just for Coventry fans, but it would be huge for this area as well.
Yeah, I would go. I'd go and watch.
Yeah, you cheer for the opposition,
Of course.
Yeah, but
Of course.
Uh.
But yeah, but I'd be there.
at the end of the day, as long as many people have said, it's it's been burnt, it's been trashed, but it's still there. And as long as it's still there,
There's always hope.
there's always hope.
Yeah.
They've got to, it's a fight to get it. It's a fight, really. I mean, stopping them from building on it is probably the easy bit. Getting it back out of their hands is going to be the challenge bit. And it probably, personally, I still think it will require a compulsory planning of purchase order being put on it. But if that's,
where all the right noises are happening.
yeah,
That's
Are all the buildings and everything? All the buildings are there as well. That
Sort of.
surround.
yeah.
Sort of.
Well, what's left of them?
Yeah.
I know when we had Jeff Davis on the show a couple of years ago, I mean, he's talked about the fact that if they did manage to get it reopened, it would probably reopen in stages, and probably have a situation where fans would only be able to go on the back straight, because I think the covering on the back straight is still in, although it's overgrown, it's still in reasonable nick.
Yeah.
But,
It was just a sort of stand, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But rather than
but I mean, all the damage has
all
been done to the home straight stand, doesn't it? Really, and I think I didn't realise actually that's actually 3 separate buildings. I think that you got the bit in the middle and you got the 2 bits at the end, which I think Jeff said were built in the late 60s. Probably have to maybe chop those 2 bits off, because I mean they're pretty much, to be honest, I'm amazed they haven't fallen down. So really, there, but the middle bit might be okay. But until they can get somebody in there to survey it, we don't know. But the most important thing is just to be able to try and get back in there first. I still think at the moment it's 50-50 at best. But I think if anybody can get it back, then they will. They've really, I mean, we had Jeff on the show. They've left no stone unturned, have they? So
no, they haven't, and they've done a really good job. I mean, everything, as I say, all the news coming out of there has always been positive.
Yeah,
it's all things moving in the right direction. Slow,
yeah,
a lot slower than we would want, but it's all.
How long ago is it now?
That's a good question.
Because it's still
2016 we closed.
Gee,
10
so
years.
10 years.
Yep.
That's
And it's-
where,
It still seems.
yes,
Still seems yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I never ever anticipated that the Speedway would not be in Coventry. And I mean, I never anticipated it would not be at Wolves either. But
Linda says that I presume she's talking. Linda Buck says, I presume she's talking about Birmingham. I did myself. A few sites have been looked at, but have been found not suitable due to closeness of housing, insufficient car parking, etc. I don't want to spend all my time talking about Birmingham, which is because that's not what the show's about.
yeah,
However, I think that is the car parking thing was strangely I think is what killed Birmingham. By that, so I didn't realise how difficult the car parking was at Birmingham, how difficult it was, because I'd never had to do it because I can park. I was always able to park on the staff car park.
Yeah,
and I think it wasn't so bad when we had the one stop and people, but that was a bit of a walk and quite a dangerous walk.
Chances rather against 2 busy roads, wasn't it? 2 of the busiest roads in and out the city.
Yeah. So but actually parking, if you can't park,
if you're on the staff, you were all right if you were on the staff, and it was just the main car park. Well, I mean, it was about the size of this room, wasn't it?
Yeah, so you couldn't park, and you couldn't park close, and you're parking in an area of the city that is not the most salubrious, shall we put it that way? So I think, particularly in a place like Birmingham, that's very, very important.
Yep.
It's why Coventry is so good. What a massive car park they had.
If they do, please though, Jeff, if you're listening, if you do get it back, make sure you put a second exit on that car park. It was a nightmare getting out of that place sometimes, especially with the big meetings. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. That's true. Pete Clark says, "Is there any news about Rye House? I have heard nothing."
No, that's gone
very quiet.
Yeah.
Sometimes no news is good news, I guess.
Yeah.
On the subject of car park, Ground Stadium had the best facility. Not including Stadium.
It's a good question. Somerset was quite good.
Yeah, say Coventry's was huge. Somerset, I think, had a pretty good car park. Kingsland, I think, have got quite a lot of car parking space there, haven't they? Peterborough as well. Peterborough was enormous.
I don't just mean the car park. I mean everything, like facility, ease of getting in, having a drink, out, transport.
Well, Wolverhampton was quite good.
Yeah.
To be
Ideal
fair.
where, because, it's only a short bus ride. It was on about 4 or 5 different bus routes out of the city. So, not too far from the metro station.
Sheffield's quite good.
Yeah, I do like Sheffield. Hopefully this year I'll be able to get up to Sheffield at some point. Bellevue's pretty good, to be fair. There's
Never been, so I can't. There's
a lot of. Yeah, you got to make sure you do this year.
Yeah, make sure you do this year.
Okay, sir. Okay. News on the GP front. Not a lot. We've had a few interesting wild card nominations.
Well, I think we talked about this at the end. We talked about this at the end of last season with Todd Woofing getting a pick, which to me is a publicity thing.
I think so. I mean, I hope he does it. Don't get me wrong. I hope he does. Hope he proves us all wrong and does a really good.
I hope so. Yeah, but it's a big ask because he's basically not ridden at that level for years now.
Not ridden for a little bit after his injury as well.
Yeah.
Pete Crosthero says the car park at Foxhall is massive. You have the whole of Foxhall Heath to park on. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds massive.
It's reasonably close to the centre of Ipswich as well, isn't it? So I think so.
2 GPs at Manchester again. I mean, don't think it's a surprise. I think they did really. Yeah. The racing was so good.
I think the first meeting, I think, with the racing was really good. I don't think it was quite as good on the second day. I think running to back days, I still think is a bit of a risk. But I believe that there is some noise now about the possibility of a Grand Prix going to Glasgow as well.
Would be interesting.
And I mean, obviously we saw
great for Glasgow.
Yeah, always. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you saw the second leg of the player final in the championship. That was probably the best meeting I saw last season. It was a brilliant meeting. Really,
not so
really
good if you live in Plymouth. It's a bit of a jaunt, isn't it?
That's your own fault for living in Plymouth. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh.
I'd look. Yeah.
How many people would be upset tonight?
Oh, Derbyshire people. So it's two blokes and a sheep.
Yeah. Every sheep.
No, that's on a list of tracks for me to try and do. Glasgow. So really, really impressed with what they've done up there. It's a really good racetrack as well. So,
Pete Clark says you can park in the whole of Derbyshire for Buxton, and you still wouldn't be able to find the track. It's quite difficult to find.
It is. Yeah, it was a hell of a challenge when we went. I know that.
Few sheep, not barriers. Whatever it is I'm trying to say.
Oh.
That you have to go over. Yeah, exactly.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Somebody will tell us. Somebody knows. Somebody will be reading our mind.
Somebody will be more intelligent than us.
Fred Graham says, so now we have a BSPL Speedway Futures and Phil Morris, head of Premiership League Speedway. All three have been very quiet all close season. Why are these people in jobs? Remember, guys, you are more than welcome to visit the Theatre of Speed, Ashfield Stadium, home of Glasgow Tigers Speedway. We would make sure you would have a great time. I mean, sounds like
it's a long old trip, but I think if you get a good meeting there, I think it'll be worth it. So
I think catch a plane.
Yeah, probably the cheapest way to get up there, actually, isn't it? Really?
I think so.
But again, Fred's made a great point there. Speedway Futures, as I've said earlier, what they're supposed to be doing.
Well, it obviously happens in the future.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
So who is the Speedway Futures? A new group?
This is what Harry Redknapp's in.
Oh, right, okay, it's all clicking.
But we don't know much more about it.
Well, it was a group that was formed, and then we weren't told until he arrived. So another great secret.
He probably doesn't know himself.
Cattle grids. Thank you, thank you, Nikki. Cattle grids. God, the Alzheimer's is setting in well tonight. Simon Corbett's letting us know that Paco is at Kings Lynn.
Yep,
he'll go well there.
Yep.
Always
a crowd. Always really popular with the crowd as well. Isn't he?
You'll love him.
Yeah, he's a great guy, Packer. We've had him on the show before, haven't we? So
during the COVID thing,
we did. Yeah, so
the
Crikey, you
COVID
must
thing.
be
Does
100
anybody remember that?
Yeah.
6 years ago now, that is.
Crikey, you must be 104 then.
Plymouth have a big parking area in the track. and
Yeah,
a-
they do actually. So
It's probably bigger than the track, isn't it? And a big park and ride car park a few minutes walk away. Leicester's quite good as well
yeah,
because you can get ferried from the car park to the
yeah.
track.
I just think I've said this before though. I just think you look at Leicester. I think a lot of space around there was wasted, which I think I think the track's improved, but they could have done so much more with that really. But hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? So
Hindsight is 2020.
Yep.
Oh, I'm just looking at the clock, and it's not showing the correct time.
No.
Okay,
It's
That's-
20, 40.
okay, that's always useful. Always useful to know. Okay, so what we can't do today is the prediction league, but rest assured that is going to continue.
Yep.
And yeah, we will. I mean, I think we're at the point where we might as well wrap this up. There's not really an awful lot else to say now, is there?
yeah,
And that's damning
in itself.
in itself.
Because you should, at this stage of the year, you should be really revved up
Yeah.
for it, getting ready,
Yeah.
previewing who's going to win the league,
Yeah.
who's going to struggle, and
Exactly.
we don't even know what's going on at the moment. So
No. Rest assured, our next show, and we don't know when that will be. Watch this space.
Yeah.
Our next show will be predictions, where we will, as per normal, get it all wrong.
Yep.
And we will hopefully be at the beginning of starting the prediction leagues.
yeah, just to clarify as well, obviously we mentioned the playoffs in the Premiership will now be contested by top three teams, with the league leaders going straight to the final. Second and third teams will contest the semi-final. That will change if a sixth team joins the league, in which case it would revert back to being the top four sides.
Yeah. Think of a number.
Yeah.
It feels very much like that, doesn't it?
Yep.
That's a good one from Richard. I think this sums up this Wisdom of Speedway discussing
Discussing
car
car
parks.
And now empty the R, I think, is going to be the
Yeah, we'll do the toilets next week. Next time, Pete. Don't worry about that.
not the Swindon toilets.
Not the
I won't
Swindon
forget that one,
toilets.
yeah, the toilets.
Yeah, and that's another team we haven't mentioned.
Swindon, yeah.
Swindon.
I don't know what's going to happen with that now. Obviously, obviously we've lost Terry Russell because
He was big in
Yeah.
putting that together. But there had been some positive noises, sort of ish, coming from Swindon, but that amounted to nothing.
Yeah, I'm dubious about that.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
I know you have.
What's that?
Ice cream man.
Yeah. Oh, it's my phone.
Oh, how many years? And that's the first time I've ever heard Matt's phone.
Yeah.
Well,
So, well, that just shows nobody ever rings me.
that's what it is.
What's that?
Ice cream van. And on that note,
Yep.
because we're sort of belts and braces today because we're running a Steam computer.
We are told
Yep.
to get my stuff.
There won't be
Provided by
any.
the BSBL.
There won't be any music. I have volunteered to sing us out, but nobody's taken us up on that offer. So
I'm not going to risk it.
we will be back in March at some point.
Yep.
And hopefully 6 teams in the Premier League. Hopefully riders signed. And hopefully we'll know what the hell's happening. You take care, everyone. See you soon.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Good night. All right, I had to.